Coming up on this week's episode of Unpicked.
But I think if I'm getting some supreme cheeks, I think that's an experience in and of itself.
I went to the Rema concert.
Wow, there's stuff that we need to cover. Covered. No one had a problem with a black horse when it was delivering their money to Lloyd's TSB.
I found it interesting that it was mainly men that were very quick to say that she wasn't telling the truth and she was just trying to milk him for money.
I didn't say she wasn't telling the truth.
You don't need to say it. It's between the lines.
Wagwan peeps, it's Venom, what you saying? Alongside my home slice, damn to the zane. When she and I get together on the poddy, ask anybody, the vibes are insane.
Join our family and feel free to come by. We on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yeah.
New drop on the way every Monday at 6.
Tune in and come see what we unpick.
All right, so it's Freaky Friday. You're going to do a body swap with a celebrity. What celebrity would you pick?
Body swap. Just for one day.
Just for one day, 24 hours.
Can't think of any celebs off the top of my head. But I tell you what, I don't know who it would be, but I know what I would do.
Okay.
That's a better answer. I would pick whoever I'm most attracted to at the time, whoever their partner is. I'll just be that guy. Keeping it real. Keeping it up.
So you don't. So who are you most attracted to? If you don't mind me asking right now.
I don't have like a person. I just have my wife. It's me. I'd body swap with me right this second. But like, if I was like fully like, I don't know who I'm like. No one's really doing it right now. I'm not gonna lie. No one's really doing it right now. But if that was the situation, that thing, I'd probably like scroll through the ground and be like, who is she?
Fair enough.
Sounds like a fun day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was thinking about Chris Brown. His
that song with the guy.
Yeah.
Because like, if it's like, I feel like a day is, if you're having fun, a day's super short. It's only long if you're having a bad time. So if I was like, I don't know, like someone who I'm always on about, like let's say for example, Kanye West. I feel like a day would be too quick. I wouldn't get nothing done. I'll be like, I don't know what he does. Even if he does nothing, I'll be like, I've not done anything. I haven't been able to.
The whole point is just for you to experience their life for one day.
Yeah, I don't think I get enough. But I think if I'm getting some supreme cheeks, I think that's an experience in and of itself. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
So,
okay.
I think that's me.
Hey, hello, hi, peeps. It's your host, Dami Zane, in the building, and I'm here with my co-host and podcast bestie, Venom.
Good people, what's good?
First of all, sorry we weren't here last week. It was my birthday, and there was a lot going on. So, yeah. We missed a week, but it's no problem. We're back. If you're new to the party, hopefully you enjoyed the episode and you subscribe or follow us on the audio platforms. And if you're back again, thanks for returning. We appreciate you. Also, quick hi and shout out to our new subscribers on YouTube. We see you. Thank you for joining the party, joining the family. We appreciate it. What's your song of the week?
On the playlist. Yeah. So the song that I want to add to the playlist is a song from one of the concerts I went to in November with my sister. I went to see Duran Bernard. He came over, did his thing in the Jazz Cafe, and he's got a song called Stuck. It's probably like the first song that I kind of vibe to of his. He's got loads of dope songs, but that's the song I want to add. It's Stuck.
Okay. And I'm going to add a Daniel Caesar song.
Oh.
Yeah. Cyanide,
that's old school. That's before he was cancelled and then came back. Yeah. I can't think of Cyanide off the top of my head, though. I can't remember how it goes.
Oh, crap. You've put me on the spot.
Just a reminder. You don't have to sing it. Just like like the most iconic.
When it gets to the playlist, listen to it on there.
Damn. A jam.
Yeah.
Well, that's that.
Well, that's that.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah. Have you seen that your home slice? Sorry, not your home slice. Your homeboy Drake added a new release to his release.
Apparently, but I haven't listened to it.
Okay, yeah. So he added the Scary Hours to the For All the Dogs album, which then makes it a new version, but it still makes it the same album. So I believe that the sales from that would still go towards the others. So
Okay.
I think he's playing stats, if you know what I mean, because that album was about to tank. But I heard the additional songs. It's mostly like diss records, and he went at Pusha T. He went at Joe Budden, basically like the people that made commentary on the original album. He kind of just took shots at them. Yeah, it sounds better than the album though, if that's anything to go by.
Okay, well, I haven't had time to check it out. I think it came out the Friday after my birthday.
No, it came out before your birthday.
Or was it the Friday before?
Yeah, the Friday before. If it was on a Friday.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Before.
The 2 weeks, that 2 weeks, yeah, I was going through it. Those 2 weeks.
Through it how?
Because I went to the
Oh yeah.
Rema, I went to the Rema concert.
Wow, there's stuff that we to cover. Come on.
Yeah, I went to the Rema concert.
Us your experience,
and then I did a video. I did a video about it. No, actually, I didn't do a video about the concert. I did a video where I mentioned that I went, but then I asked a general question. That video on TikTok went viral.
Yeah.
It went viral.
And what question did you ask?
It's still doing the numbers. So basically, I said that when it comes to some of these secular artists, yeah, people like to say that their performance or like what they do on stage is just art. It's just art.
Right, yeah.
It's art, it's art. I said, but if it's only art, why do they always draw from the same inspiration? And I was saying how like they'll like most of the time they draw for like 666, satanic, Baphomet references. Why is the inspiration always darkness? Like from the same. Why is it that always? If it's just art, why is it always the same theme? Right? Surely, if it was just art, they would draw from different inspirations. It wouldn't all seem the same, right?
Yeah.
They tore me to shreds, and I'm talking. I'm talking the Nigerians, my own people, came for me.
In what sense? Like what
came for me because they were like, because I started the video by saying, "Oh, I went to Rema's concert."
Yeah,
that's all they heard. So to them, that me saying that the concert was demonic, even though I didn't actually say he's demonic or satanic.
That's the rhetoric I've seen online, though. So I don't see why they would rip you for that. But okay.
Well, they ripped me for it, right? But I get why they probably ripped me for it because a lot of other people were saying that it was
right.
And they were like, if you're a Christian, even though I didn't mention my faith in the video, mind you.
Yeah.
If you are a Christian, why did you go to the concert? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you lot, the thing about people online is they don't listen to understand, they listen to respond. So if you had actually listened to my video, at no point did I call myself a Christian. So you've just made that assumption. I mean, it's correct, but you made the assumption. At no point did I outrightly call him satanic or demonic. At no point did I say the concert was satanic or demonic. I asked a general question. The people that got it answered the question. The people that didn't get it were going on and on about,
they were going ham.
It's not demonic. It's his culture. You should be ashamed of yourself. You've been brainwashed. Rah, 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 ta, ta. The issue around that concert in general was that a lot of people, I was there. I went with my mum. I took my mum because she wanted to see it. That's why I went. Yeah, I went because my mum wanted to go, and I took her to see the concert. Right. He's on her list. We've gone through the list now. She's got one more artist to see, and I've told her I'm not doing it. One of your other kids can take you.
Said, Mum, I'm not on it, bruv. I'm not on it.
I've done 3 of them now. One of your other kids can take you to the ones that I left. But we were there, and even my mum, whilst we were there, she was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And what you need to understand is me and my mum, like my mum, me and my mum don't share the same faith, 1, and 2, my mum's a lot more like laid back with this stuff. She's just like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah. So for her to be uncomfortable, it says something. Like for her to be like, but then she was like, yeah, but the tribe he's from, they're known
for that kind of
they're known for like voodoo and stuff like that. And this is the thing that people didn't want to talk about. This is the thing that people weren't saying. As much as people were supporting the imagery that he was showing, they were like, oh, that's part of the culture. They weren't talking about the fact that
that man do voodoo.
In that tribe, they're known for it. To the point where other tribes take the mick out of them for it. Like, oh, don't date a girl from that tribe because she'll be a witch. Like it's a thing, right? So when my mum was like, in the concert, my mum was like, oh, this feels weird. But she goes, but you know what? That's his tribe are known for that type of thing. So I'm not surprised, right? So anyway, a lot of people left. The concert got quite, like left at at points. It was very. I'll explain what was there. I'll explain the imagery for those that weren't there.
But
essentially, his opening act was grand. It was very like, I've arrived. I love that. He wore a black robe. Yeah, with like a black hood, almost like not a KKK type thing, but it was like a black robe with a hood on it, and he wore a mask, and he sat on a black horse, and he was caged first. So he comes out, rises from the ground in this thing, and and then he had these dancers dancing around him in a circle and all this stuff, and on the screens, which a lot of people didn't really talk about, but was what made me and my mum uncomfortable, was you could see images of like skeletons burning. You could see images of like monsters, like, or spirits on the screens. So that was more what my mum and I was like, that's a bit weird. But in the discussions, the discourse around Rema, people were talking about the horse, the mask, and he also did a performance on top of a bat. He had this like fake bat, and he was standing on top of the bat, and he was doing his people call it turnaround music because it was very rock-esque.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I turn around. I can't even do it. I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. But people were saying that's what it was giving. So the bat represents, in that part of Nigeria at nighttime, bats fly a lot at nighttime. It's like known in that part of Nigeria. So that's what the bat was supposed to represent. The horse and the mask was meant to represent an African female warrior from that tribe, one of the first female warriors from that tribe. I hear all of that, but it still doesn't explain the burning skeletons, the church burning, the images of like spirits and stuff like that. And you know when you go to concerts as well, they'll show you, like, those of you that are low enough to see the artist can see it, but they always show the show on the screens as well.
I know what you
know what I mean? Yeah. So they'll have it on for those that are closer to
away in the nosebleeds and all that.
Those ones that are closer to heaven, so they can see it as well. Sorry. Well, when you looked at the screens, it didn't show. It showed him in inverted colors, so it didn't show. So his eyes looked green and weird, and it just didn't. And then the whole place was black. There was no other color but black and red.
Yeah, that's why I've seen a lot of black and red.
So a lot of black and red. And again, those colors are linked to his tribe. That's cool. But if that's the case, why is it that when he stopped singing his rock music and it was time to sing Afrobeats, he changed into a colorful outfit, like jeans and a bright top, and then he had purple, pink, green, all sorts of colors on stage? So it felt like he had a dark segment for like 3/4 of the show, and then a light segment towards the end when it was the Afro beats. And a lot of the music he was singing during the dark part was rock, a lot of screaming, a lot of like music that doesn't really fit the demographic that came to watch your show. A lot of us in the UK, we didn't follow that part of your discography. Like we know you because of the songs like Calm Down, bounce. Like we know ginger. Like we know the Afrobeat song. So why did you think it was acceptable to do 3/4 of your show of screaming and then the last 15, 20 minutes of the actual Afrobeats that we came here to see? So that's my review. And then on top of that, the transitions were very slow. So like he'd go and change outfits and then he'd have a rock band playing. And it was just the vibe was just
like
very
the flow
slow.
of it wasn't finessed.
But it's his first big show in the O2, so I can't like. I feel like Beyonce spoiled a lot of us. If you've gone to see someone like Beyonce and then you go and see someone like Rema, it's a clear difference. Do you know what I mean? But it's his first show. It's fine. Or even if you've seen like Wizkid and Burna Boy, who've done loads of shows here.
Yeah, but Wizkid's been doing shows here for time.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to say. So you can't compare. So I expected it to be a bit janky, which is what it was. But I think what it was is because I can agree that a lot of people are not educated on that tribe. So some of the stuff like wearing a black cloak, coming out on a black horse, even the imagery before he came out the horse, when you're waiting for him to come up, even the imagery that they showed before he came out was that's a bit weird. Do you get it? So I can see why if people don't understand the culture, they would have seen that and gone, this is strange. But if you put the whole atmosphere together, the darkness, the screaming, the rock that we didn't expect.
The screaming, I was here for. That's been my life ever since the day after that concert. All I've been doing is, let's go! That's me. That's me. Every moment. Let's go! Yeah!
No, but do you know what?
It's just
do you know what?
me.
I would have left. But my mum really wanted him to sing certain songs. And my mum's one of those people. She'll wait.
I need to hear my song. Yeah.
She will wait. So we waited.
Worst thing is you leave and he did do the song and you're like...
But he did.
Yeah,
in the colourful part of the show. Do you get it? So yeah, I kind of agree with the Nigerians that felt like these people are trying to make the culture seem demonic. I can get why they would have that perception when a lot of people that were reviewing the show kept talking about the horse, the mask, and the bat, especially the bat. They kept talking about that. They weren't there, so they didn't see everything, if that makes sense. You're hearing about it from overseas based on what people are telling you on social media. You're not hearing the full picture of what they saw and why they felt that way. But as someone that was there, as much as I know what I know about the culture, it still felt off to me, and it felt off to my mum, who's a whole nother generation, who doesn't really care about this new age, we're woke, we're scared of going to concerts. She was just like, but then again, this is his tribe, and that's what they're known for. If you were to do your research, actually, you'd find that, like in Haiti, there's like this whole big like hoodoo, voodoo practice.
Yeah.
That actually originated from that particular tribe.
Oh, sick. There you go.
So there's a direct link between the two of them. So like historically, that's what they're known for. So my mum was just like, that's what the tribe is known for. And I was like, Mum, Mum, you can't say that because, we're Yoruba. So I'm like, you can't say that because, that's not a nice thing to say, because we're Yoruba. She's like, yeah, but it's even my generation. I have friends from that tribe and we mock them. We're like, oh, you people are, you do wizardry or witchcraft. It's a thing.
Witches and wizards. It's tricky, man. Like I know what I saw in terms of what people had documented and put online, and then I saw the clips in it. But without being there, you don't get the physical vibe.
Exactly.
But what I can say in terms of the talk points, at least, that people do pick up, it does feed more into like speciesism and colorism, because everyone like, oh, the black horse. I was like, bruv, what does the color of the horse matter? It's a horse. It's just a horse. A bats are always black, basically, or dark brown.
Yeah.
It's just a type of flying animal, you know what I mean? But where I guess a bat is not common in the West, people are like automatically scared. Only associated with vampires and darkness. It's just an animal. And a horse is purely innocent. No one had a problem with a black horse when it was delivering their money to Lloyd's TSB. But as soon as the black man sings on it, you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying though? Like it's not that it's that deep and it's not that deep. Like
I hear it,
but
yeah,
like
no,
I hear the vibe. Yeah,
but
the
like
vibe is intangible or not intangible. It's you can't show vibe.
You can't show the vibe, and for as far as I'm concerned, yeah, they want to say what they want to say and they want to have outrage, but for the fact that people en masse,
yeah, no, 100%, and he had defended himself about that kind of commentary towards him before that concert, like very near to it. He was talking about people.
Yeah, because his which the funny thing is, yeah, when I got the ticket, I didn't even see the promo for it. I didn't see the imagery that had come out for it.
Right.
So I think if I had, I would have been like, "Mum, are you sure?" Because
I haven't seen
it wasn't until after the fact that I went and had a look at like on his Twitter, the banner on his Twitter, for example, is a bit questionable in terms of the the allegations against him. Yeah. And then even like the promo images that he had out for the concert was a bit as well. Also, the album covers as well are a bit funny. And apparently the music videos, but I've not seen the music videos. Like I don't even watch videos. I don't watch music videos anymore. Do you get what I mean? Like I don't pay attention to stuff like that. So a lot of the backlash I got personally was, you should have known that that's what he's about, because there's this.
He's
this,
always
this,
been
and
about
this.
it. Yeah,
and I'm like,
always been about it. Like,
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that because I didn't to get it. So
I've never seen this guy's music videos.
But the funny thing is, it's not like we all have. It's not like back in the day where people actually used to wait for music videos to come out and we used to watch them. And like, you don't have the physical CDs anymore. Like everything's, so people you might not pay attention to those things until it's too late. But it taught me a valuable lesson that going forward, I will be pre-ing those things first. Best believe. I'm not going to be like, the song bangs, I'm going to the concert. No. I'm going to be like, let me pre the promo because, so I missed the whole, just going back full circle, I missed the whole Drake thing because that week I was fighting for my life on TikTok.
Yeah, with it in the trenches. No,
I don't think you understand the comments. I
had my own dose back in the day.
I had to change my privacy settings on my TikTok because I was getting threatening messages.
What, in the DM?
In the DMs, people were DMing me. Like, it was crazy. It was, and it's funny because I'd only been posting for less than a week. I started posting consistently on 300 followers. Off the back of that Rema thing, I went up to overnight, 3K followers overnight. And then it didn't stop there because on my birthday week, I spoke about UK Beasts, I spoke about Nella Rose on I'm a Celebrity, and that popped off. That popped off as well. I then went viral for that. For holding black men accountable for calling black women UK beasts, which allows other cultures to do that, to call us the same. And I still stand. One thing about me, and you know me from doing this podcast with me for so long, I stand on business with what I say. I said what I said. I'm not taking it back. So because I stood 10 toes down on that, doubled down, they came for me. Caucasians came for me. It was very interesting. Yeah, my birthday week, it was peak. On my birthday and the day after, I said I'm staying off TikTok because I've had enough.
It's not the space.
It's my birthday. But it's been an interesting 2 weeks. Let's just put it that way. But the Rema concert in general, it was a good concert. If you're into that type of music.
I haven't heard his, so it would not be why I had gone there, if you know what I mean.
No, that wouldn't have been. No. Yeah,
because I can listen to like rock and all that. Like I think all music sounds good live, but I would have gone with a specific, I'm gonna get this vibe, and then if I'd have got rock, I would have been like.
Do you know what? It's so funny because like normally they'd have like an opening act. He didn't really have an opening act. He had a DJ, and the DJ played Afrobeats for a part, and then all of a sudden people assumed that there was something wrong with the sound because the DJ stopped playing music, and that's when the band came out, and the band looked like a rock band.
Right.
So then the rock band started playing rock music in the interlude before he came out, and everyone around me was like, "This is a Rema concert, right?"
Yeah.
They were confused.
Yeah.
I should have known from then that maybe he's not going to do straight Afro beats. Maybe
the vibe says. I didn't know he had music that wasn't Afrobeat though.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Literally everyone around me, we were all looking at each other like, why is a rock band playing? Did we get it wrong? This is Rema's night, right? This is not a different act. Yeah. So I think his British audience are not aware of the type of music, but they learned that day. We learned that day.
He said, I'm not going to give you a heads up from like Insta that he said, you're going to learn at my show. Yeah. Man, don't just do all this high life and Afro beats. Nah. It's deeper than that.
Nah, I do other things. Yeah, man.
Wow. You was doing up Rema, I was doing up Duran Bernard same time. It was one of them days, and then I did Victoria Monet the following day.
Yeah.
Completely different vibes. Completely.
I won't be going to another Rema concert again.
I don't think a lot of people will. I don't know if he's coming back to the UK in that capacity.
Do you know what he might do? But I don't know if he'd sell out like that. And if he does, it will be the type of people that listen to that music because they'll know now that that's what they're going to get. But those of us that like good vibes and Afro beats, I don't think we'll be attending. In fact, most people that reviewed it said, they won't go to another one. If it's like that, they're not going.
And you would never know until you get there.
Till you get there and start hearing, yow!
Listen, let's go! My sister sent it to me in the morning, yeah? I didn't even know who it was. I thought it was Travis Scott. I was like, what song is this? And I didn't read her message properly. I just played the video and I was like, what song is this? And I went back and I was like, who is that? And she's like, Rema. I was like, Rema?
He's talented though. I give him that.
Of course he's talented. Yeah, he's got bangers.
And the funny thing is, I feel like if he goes into that space, that would be good. I feel like that's interesting because a lot of I feel like we assume, which is again, it's bad on our part, but we assume that just because you're an artist coming out of Africa, that you're gonna do Afro beats. You might not even want to do Afro beats. Like look at Tem, she doesn't do Afro beats. She's like an R&B type. But people assume that because you're coming from Africa, you're gonna do Afro beats. And I think there should be rock stars coming out from Africa. There should be R&B stars, hip hop. It shouldn't just be Afro beats. If you're gonna do Afro beats, do Afro beats. If you're not, then do your thing, innit?
Then and now we go.
Now we know Rema is not. Do you know what I mean? He's more.
I'm gonna kill my mom.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna kill my dad.
Gonna kill my dad.
Jeez.
That's more his emo vibe.
That is a brand new boy.
Yeah. Anyway. Let's move on. Have you seen the P. Diddy and Cassie fiasco?
Lord have mercy. Yeah, boy. Lord have mercy. I just got my, you know like how Spotify does the end of the year, Spotify plays review. I don't know why they came out of it today, or for me, but they sent it to me, Apple. They sent theirs. And at the top, Diddy in this new album.
Oh yeah, because you put a song on the playlist from there.
Yeah, I put a song on the playlist. Yeah, boy.
So this happened in that week, that space. Basically, Cassie came out, said she's suing Diddy for a whole host of sexually deviant behavior, is how I'm going to put it. Basically, he was being sued for trafficking. He was being sued for drugging her or putting her under the influence or introducing her to that type of lifestyle, controlling her, having other people perform acts on her whilst he watched and filmed and stuff like that. Like it was a 30-page
deep document
detailing everything that she was accusing him of. And within 24 hours, it was settled.
Yeah, boy.
It was settled. When the story came out and everyone had time to read the document, there was conversations about whether or not people believe her or not, whether he did it or not. Diddy's lawyer came out and said it's all allegations. It's not true. He's just trying to be milked for money. And then literally we went to bed and we woke up and it was, yeah, they settled it.
Done.
It's done. What do you think?
So that's a tough one because we'll never know the truth. But, and I don't know the law system intimately, but I do know that the type of case that it was is one that you can make money from rather than a criminal like justice case where, so that says a lot. And obviously everyone knows that she...
Nah, say it clearly. What does that mean? What do you mean that says a lot?
So taking someone through a legal process that extrapolates money as opposed to criminalizes them, that says a lot to me. Because it makes clear what your end goals are. At the end of this, I want 30 million. I don't care if he goes to prison. I want 30 million. So that's what I want. And that Diddy been in this game my whole life, innit? So he's been, Diddy my whole life. So he ain't poor. He's been doing this music thing and he's been successful at it, whether you like him or not, whether you think he's straight or not, all of them things. So we all know he's good for it. And that was his girl for a good portion of time. And then she decided to leave that relationship for, I think it was her trainer. And let's be real, like he's not on Diddy money. He's a trainer. He's not a Diddy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're dating someone who's up, like Diddy up for a long time, and then you start dating someone who's at least a bit more regular. I'm not saying the trainer's completely civilian, but you know what I mean? In comparison, some of what you're used to just ain't going to be the same. They have a child together, so that's going to put its own financial strain because Cassie ain't released music since Diddy anyway. So I don't know what their financial situation is. I just know that they ain't Diddy rich and she ain't Diddy rich no more. So if you can't pop out the blue and I ain't heard you talk about Diddy at all for a million years and then all of a sudden you're like, I want 30 million. You know what I mean? Sound like you want 30 million.
I found it interesting that it was mainly men that were very quick to say that she wasn't telling the truth and she was just trying to milk him for money.
I didn't say she wasn't telling the truth.
You don't need to say it's between the lines.
It's not between the lines.
It's between the lines. Like
it's not
like,
between
the
lines.
For me, it's between the lines. For me,
it's the end goal. She made clear what her end goal is.
Okay, cool. It's between the lines. For me, whenever I heard people say, oh yeah, it's very interesting. Or now she's not said anything. And then all of a sudden she's popped out the blue and she wants 30 mil. It's only for the money. It's like, okay, but can we focus on the allegations here and not the fact that she's suing him? There's a reason why he's being sued.
Of course.
There's a reason. The reason for it is the Adult Survivors Act. The deadline was coming up. So, and that's why she's not the only one that came out. There's been other people since then that are like, let me use this opportunity. So it's kind of like, it's funny how I feel like majority men were like, oh yeah, she just wants money because her man right now is broke. So of course she's going to go after Diddy and say all these things. She never said anything before. And it kind of reduces the allegation when that is done. It kind of makes it seem like the allegation isn't the allegation. She just wants money. It's not true. She just wants money. But it's like
someone would have to say that it's not true. She just wants money.
30 pages.
She just wants money.
Yeah, hold on. 30 pages worth of allegations. And we're talking not the lightest of things. Like there's details in there. Like the things that were said, to me, it's like, can we just put aside the fact that they're saying the damages is worth 30 mil and just focus on the fact that there's all these allegations which people have been saying through the grapevine for years. And it might just be that now that there's this deadlock that they've put in the law that you can't do a look back no more from
after a certain point in time.
Maybe she sat down with her husband and was like, okay, I think it's now or never, because if we don't, that's going to be done as of this point. So maybe now I'm strong enough to talk about it. After how many years of being married, I've had kids now. I can really go to town, speak to my lawyer, have them draw up this 30-page whatever, and you know, I think up until the point where he settled, I guess it could have gone either way, and whether you want to believe it or not. But from the moment that he settled, I was like, he did that shit. Excuse my language. Because to me, if you know you didn't do it, yeah, I'm not parting with my money. I don't give a heck.
Yeah.
I am not parting with my money if I didn't do it. He settled so fast. It's like, why settle if you didn't do it? Why not take it to court? Why not take it to court and let the courts prove that you're right? Because there's no evidence. There's nothing to support.
I hear that.
But the fact that you said, you know what, I'm going to write the check, I'm going to do what I got to do just to shut you up, just to end this now. There must be element of truth. Might not be all of it, but there must be element of truth, or there must be enough evidence, or there must be something to make you look like you did what she said you did.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously he knows what the documents say. Yeah.
And he knows what is there, and his lawyers would know what evidence is there and stuff like that. So they would have. That's the whole point. That's how settlements work. It's either you settle now or potentially.
But it's also not necessarily what is true. It's what you can prove in the court of law. And if she has the evidence to prove certain things that are in that document,
that's what I'm saying.
That's what it is.
But if she's got evidence to prove, then you can't have evidence to prove something that's not true.
Of course you can. Of course you can. Do you know how American law works? Of course you can.
I know how it works.
Yeah, of course you can. That is like...
Allegations like this, though. Allegations like... Because the thing is, things like, oh, he had people perform acts on me and filmed it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If she's got videos of that... You can't say that the video doesn't prove what she's saying if the video is showing that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Of course,
and also, they also had people... after that allegation was made, within that 24 hours, people were bringing up old videos of other artists or other people that have worked with Diddy or been in their close circles, coming out saying, yeah, I remember one time this happened. I remember one time that happened. That kind of corroborates the story that she has given. Come on, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I think he's done. I think he did that stuff, or if not 100% of it, he's done quite a bit of it. And he's like, you know what? His lawyers probably said to him, you know what? It's in your best interest that rather than this gets dragged through the courts, because if it gets dragged through the courts, we're going to hear about it. The public will hear about it.
Yeah.
So rather than that, and it tarnishes your reputation, just settle it now, shut it up. No one can talk about it after this because you've done the settlement, and that's that. It's dead in the water. It's done. And he thought about it and was like,
even to an innocent person, that's still appealing. If you know that, this court case,
I don't think he's innocent.
I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm saying even to an innocent person, if you know that what she's bringing about and this whole court case is going to do more than 30 million worth of damage to your brand, then it's still in your best interest to settle it early. So
only if you know within your heart that there's evidence that can make it seem like what is said is true. And if I know, so like, for example, if I knew that there's nothing that you can use against me that's going to make this stick, I'm not paying you any money.
So you'd rather take a bigger hit than the
It's not a bigger hit. It's not a bigger hit because I know there's nothing there for you to use.
No, but in terms of business, it might be a big... Like, Diddy's a businessman at the end of the day.
It doesn't matter.
So in terms of... So, for example, Johnny Depp, and I can't even remember his ex-wife's name now, left me, boy.
Yeah, I forgot about her. She's not relevant, because we don't like her. That's why we can't remember her name.
But for example, like, the contracts and stuff that he lost when she took their situation to court...
Yeah.
He then had to take her back to court, sue her just to... But anyway, the amount of money that he lost... If she had done it in such a way that he could have settled, I don't know if he would have because of how he is as a man. But besides the point, he might have lost far less if he had settled rather than
I have a feeling
gone
that
through
I have a feeling he was more about being proven, being
Yeah, no,
vindicated of his innocence,
100%.
which is why it carried on that far.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, but that's exactly the point that I'm trying to make. Like, if you know that you know that you know, there's nothing you can use to stick this on me. This is all poppycock crap. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, but
Let's
I mean,
go.
there's a clear difference between the type of man that Johnny Depp is and...
I can lose contracts. That's fine, but there'll be others, and we can't even compare Johnny Depp to
No, but I mean,
Diddy.
as
In
men,
terms
they're
of,
very
hold
different.
on,
They're
no,
very different.
I'm not talking about them as men. I'm talking about them as business people. Like Diddy had. I'm sure he still has it. He has his own record label. He's the one giving the contracts. It's not the same. Do you get it? He's not an artist under a label. He is the label. So if he wants to, he could go to court and still come out unscathed if he was innocent. If it came out he was innocent,
unscathed,
I think he would come out unscathed. It would, because now it's just as bad as him going to court anyway, because we've all seen the 30-page document. He's had 2 other people come out as well. We've got all these other artists and people that have worked in your inner circle coming out saying, yeah, he used to control her. Yeah, I've seen some weird stuff. Yeah, like, all of this is still making people talk about you and have this perception of you like you're a monster in this big industry, right? If you was able to prove you was innocent, half of that would go away. People would talk about it and be like, yeah, but he went to court and they proved that there was no evidence and therefore, and it's done. So as much as he might lose contracts and stuff like that, if he was innocent and it came out the other side of the court system that he is actually innocent, that shuts all the rumors down. People might be like, I remember that time we used to think that Diddy did it, but yeah, but it went to court and boom, end of discussion. But now you've settled and this allegation is still in the air. You've settled with Cassie, but people still think this thing about you. How does that help your brand? Which is why I think for Diddy, he ain't innocent. Not 100%. It might not be...
I don't think he's innocent of... It's hard to say in it because, one, I didn't read the document because I haven't.
Okay.
So I only know all the other rumors about Diddy and other people and all of that. There's enough rumors about Diddy across history for everyone to know that Diddy has been up to stuff. He's been up to something.
He's up to something.
With someone at some point. Plus he's famous. So of course you have to have done what was maybe socially acceptable then, but isn't law abiding now type stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, for example, maybe back in the day, it was okay to encourage people to drink and to have, you know what I mean, like intimate relationships with people who are drinking. And then they're like, no, you can't approach women who are under the influence. You can't da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
But that moves through time. But without a doubt, but with regards to Cassie...
It's never okay to intoxicate someone with the intention to take advantage of them. That's never ever been okay. But no, I hear it though.
It's not to take advantage
of them. Yeah, I hear it.
It's just if someone's a participant in that. But lo and behold, Diddy and Cassie is a very strange situation.
Very. They were together for like 10 years, right?
They were together for a very long time. And at a point, you have to ask yourself, at what point is this person participating in this versus a victim of this?
Yeah, but, you know, like, there's people who are rape victims who end up falling in love with the person that
Stockholm syndrome and that.
Yeah, so like it's not, people talk about these things in such black and white, and it's like you can't talk about it black and white because it's a very complicated situation, and unless you've actually been in the situation, you're talking about it from a removed place. So I mean, you know me well enough to know that I'm never ever going to sit here and be like, I've got to think about her participation in this. If she's saying that he abused her, then that's what happened. Especially since he settled and he didn't let it go through court and let them prove him to be innocent. Then yeah, it happened then. You were so quick to sign that check. Yeah, I think you did it. And yeah, she was there for a long time, but she was underage when he approached her. She wasn't an adult.
I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship.
Yeah, she wasn't an adult. If I did a quick Google search, yeah, she was 19.
That's legal in the United States of America. Or is it 21? No, yeah, they're 18, isn't it? Yeah, 18 is legal.
It's legal. It's legal. Hold on, let me reopen that thing let me reopen it. It's legal, but he was, hold on. I know that the age difference was crazy.
I guess just do the how old is he now versus how old she is now, and then take away the.
Yeah, I can't bother to do the maths. I can't bother to do the maths on this thing, but
the mathematics is she was 19 and he was older than 19, so it's legal.
Yeah, but we're not talking 5 years. We're talking like 20 plus years older than her.
It can be 100 years. If it's legal, it's legal.
No, but this is the thing that men don't understand, yeah? Mm-hmm. Because of that age gap and the allegations, it makes him look worse. When I talk about guys go for younger women, did you know that a woman's frontal lobes haven't fully developed till she's 25?
You need to change the law.
I'm not talking about the law. I'm talking about morals here. I'm not talking about law.
So when does a man's frontal lobes develop?
Well, we can Google that. So what age does a man's frontal lobe... Oh, again. So yeah, 25 years as well.
Yes.
But so it's the same. So if you're 45 and she's 19, how is that okay? Just because it's legal doesn't make it right. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Based on your same argument, if you're 25 and you're dating and she's 19, it shouldn't be okay. If you're 25 and dating and she's 21, it shouldn't be okay. If you're 25 and dating and she's 23, it shouldn't be okay.
That's exactly what my argument is. But it's worse because...
That doesn't make sense.
But it does make sense. Because if she's not fully developed and you have an advantage. And it's the same thing with women. If you're a woman over a certain age and you're dating a younger guy who's not fully, maturity-wise, his brain isn't even fully there yet. Mm-hmm. You have an advantage over him. You do have an advantage over him. I think anyone that makes the argument that you don't have an advantage over someone younger than you who's not fully developed yet is dumb. Sorry, no, you can't come to me and tell me you can never tell me that you don't have an advantage. You have. I don't know what your intention is. Your intention might not be that way. Cool. It's not always, but sometimes it is. Sometimes it is that way. So, especially when you hear men say things like, oh yeah, younger women are easier to mold and stuff like that. It's like, of course they're easier to mold. Their frontal lobe is not even fully developed yet. You've still got time to make them into the person you want them to be. Whereas if they're older and they're able to think about things rationally and their brain's fully developed, it's harder to do that. So it's like, I don't know.
There's a perspective on it. Also, the other perspective is someone's been an adult for this amount of time. They might not yet be set in their ways versus someone who's been an adult for this amount of time who might be set in their ways. Yeah,
but I mean, you might find someone, I don't even want to say man or woman, but you might find someone who's closer to 30 and they're still not set in their ways. Because apparently, if you have women who have ADHD, their frontal lobe develops a lot later in life. It develops fully closer to 30 rather than 25. So there's a lot more, scientifically, there's a lot more to it than just the blanket 25, right? But what I'm trying to say is I think it's morally wrong for anyone to be like, oh yeah, it's legal, but you have an advantage over this person because this person isn't fully ready for what you're trying to do with them. Their level of understanding is not the same level as your understanding. And I'm very funny about that sort of power play. I feel like it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous because especially because for these women, they don't know the true intention of the man. Not to say that I'm not trying to villainize those men. Some of them are pure-hearted. They just want love. Cool. But some of them use that to their advantage and that's dangerous. And as a younger woman, you don't know that person's true intention. No matter what, no matter your age, you never know anyone's true intention. But it's more dangerous when you're that impressionable, if that makes sense. And it might not be till later on that you...
I would say that women under 25 are so much more impressionable than other women?
I kind of think that it is, because if a man's gonna hear me out, if a man's gonna say, which we spoke about in the past, oh yeah, women that are older, they're not malleable, whereas a woman that is younger is malleable, then that speaks to how impressionable she is. An older woman, you can't. The argument is, an older woman, you can't mold them into how you want them to be in your relationship. They've got their own mind. They make their own decisions. They'll be like, no, I'm not having that. And they're very happy to do that. Whereas a younger woman is more likely to be like, okay, cool, I hear you out, whatever, I'll do things how you want me to do it. That means she's impressionable. Straight off the bat, she's more impressionable than the older woman. That's the argument that men make by saying she's more malleable. So I don't know if I agree with that. I just feel like once you hit a certain age bracket, I feel like you need to be mindful of how younger you're going. If the woman's 30 and you're 50, I have no issues with that, because she's a grown woman. But if they're younger, I just don't like the idea of younger women going for men with that much of an age gap. It's too much.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's definitely distasteful, but
I feel like 19, you're max 10 years, max. And even that, I'm itching. But I mean, 10 years, max.
Personally, if it was, in fact, it doesn't even matter which way around it was. I was going to say if it was guy, girl, but no, even if it was girl,
it doesn't matter, yeah.
I would still be like, yuck.
For 10 years?
Yeah. But I'm always going to stick by my argument that you need to change the law. People need to petition to change the law.
I don't think it would make a difference. I feel like even if they change the law, these men or women will still want what they want. They
can want what they want. But if it's illegal...
And I think they'll still go for it.
Then I'm happy with that. If it's not legal, then I'm happy to be like, yeah, that's wrong. But if the law says it's fine, I'm like, I feel you're acting within the law. It's not.
Yeah. You're acting within the law, but it's not morally correct. Just because it's within the law doesn't make it morally correct. That's what I'm saying. Like if I had a daughter, or if my sister came to me, oh, she's older now, but if my sister came to me around that age and was like, there's a guy, he's this age, I'd have been like, nah, stop that now, don't do it.
Same.
Like I asked my dad this question, he was like, yeah, absolutely not, because I'm a man and I know how men think. Absolutely not. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely not. So I just feel like the legal thing is something that people say to justify it, but it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right. What it is? I don't think that 16-year-olds are old enough to consent to having sex, but that's the law in this country.
So yeah,
doesn't make it right.
No, I don't think that I don't think that they're not old enough to consent to having sex amongst people who are their age mates. I think there's nothing wrong with people who are legally able to in this country amongst their age mates doing those kind of things. I was not fortunate enough to get jiggy with it when I was 16, and yeah, that's not how it panned out for me. However, I don't think there's anything wrong with it if that happens for you, if you're trying to make that happen. The problem
Do you know why I disagree with
that
that?
At 16, it opens up for everybody. So anybody who's sexually active is able to engage with someone at 16. That is the problem.
I think the age limit should be increased to 18, at least.
Why do you think it should be 18?
I think that at 16... you know what sex is because they teach you that. Fair enough. Your hormones are raging, but you don't understand what comes with sex. I can't speak for men. I can't speak for men, but for women emotionally, how that affects you emotionally, how it affects you. Like, it's more than just the physical act. And I don't think you're taught that. You don't learn that until you start doing it. And then once you've done it, that's it. It's done. And especially for women, it's remembering how invasive sex is for girls. I just don't think 16 is the right age for that. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. I hear your point. I get what you mean. Like, if it's within the same age bracket, it's a bit more palatable. But I'm just thinking, a 16-year-old, what do you know about life?
And nothing. Life is a learning experience,
and the intricacies of sex and the emotions that brings and how that changes your brain functioning chemically as a woman once you start having sex. Nah, man, 16 is too young. It's too young I can't speak for men, but for women, I feel like it's too young. You don't have a clue. You're not old enough to know.
Boys or girls, neither of them have a clue. I
just feel like you don't understand your body enough for you to be I'm going to allow someone, I'm going to exchange bodily fluids, I'm going to let someone penetrate me at 16. Nah. Nah,
It sounds
it's
mad, but
too.
I know where I was at 16, and I would have never, if someone said, "Naji, you got to wait 2 years, 2 more years," even though I did in my pursuit,
Mm,
um, I'd have
yeah,
been
because
like,
you're thinking
"No,
about it from
I'd have, no, I
yeah,
would
but
have
you're
been
thinking
no,"
from
but
a
I
man's
felt like I was a
perspective.
man then. At
Yeah, but
16 years old, I was like, I'm a
yeah,
man. I'm a
yeah, of
man.
course. I mean, I'm at 16. I didn't feel like a woman. I felt like a 16-year-old.
Yeah, no, at 16, I was like, I'm a
I
man.
feel like that's why I said I can't speak for guys, but for girls, with what I know about how sex changes you as a girl,
Mm-mm.
I don't think 16 is the age where you can handle that, where you can actually handle all the stuff that being penetrated and all that stuff brings, all those
Mm.
emotions and stuff, how it changes your perspective of life, how it changes how you, it alters everything for women. And I just don't think that 16 is the age where you can handle that. I feel like it should be an older age. I would be comfortable with 18, not 16. It's too young. Just because you know about it, just because you might have started your period or not, you might have started wearing a bra and you're having all these feelings as a girl, doesn't make it right. That's why I'm saying that the law doesn't always make it right. It's the law, fine, but is it morally correct? Absolutely not. A 19-year-old should not be dating someone 10 years. I'll wince, but I can take it. Over that? Come on. That's not right. Couldn't you
Wait,
find a
sorry, I didn't
26-year-old?
catch what you meant by that statement. Sorry, can you just explain? You
Which
said a
one?
19-year-old shouldn't be dating
I don't
someone.
think a 19-year-old dating someone over 10 years older than
Okay.
them, I don't think that is right. 10 years, I'll wince. 29, I'm like, but you know what? 10 years, cool. But you see, when you start going 30, 31, up 40, I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. Nah, it's not right. It's not right morally.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel about it. You can like younger people, whatever you're into, but I feel like the age gap needs to be a comfortable age gap, and you have to think about the age of the woman as well, or the man. You have to think about where they're starting from and then your age and be like, I mean, what am I doing with them anyway? Like their mentality, my mentality, like, is it making sense? I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. It's just me. Like, nah. But yeah, I do think he did that stuff. 100%. I think he did it. If not all of it, he did a good amount of it. That's why he
Mm.
said, settle this now. Settle this now. But off the back of this Adult Survivors Act, there's other artists that have also been sued. So Trey Songz is one.
Yeah, we said Trey Songz was coming because of that thing.
Yeah, Trey Songz, Jamie Foxx.
Yep.
I'm shocked by that one. That one, I'm
I
like,
don't. I
oh,
don't.
Jamie, surely not.
So do you know what it is, right? There's a cohort of celebs, and I feel like if you, it's not like a fraternity, but there's like a certain caliber of American male celeb, and I think if you can put them into that frat, they've probably done something. Because they come from a time as well where it was easy to sweep it under the rug. It's not, you know what I mean? It's like
it wasn't spoken about as much. Like I feel
it
like
wasn't.
after the Me Too movement, it's been talked
Yeah, like
about a lot.
after
But I feel
like I
like
say
back
after Me
then,
Too, those people have changed their behavior because social media is different. How women approach these things is
I
different.
agree.
How society
Yeah,
approaches it is different.
yeah.
But I think if you're
Yeah.
old enough and you're from a particular cohort, you've probably done something because you had all the power and there was not really any consequence. Why would you not? You just like, I'm famous, like, all right, them man are doing it, I'll do it.
I think that I'm gonna take what you said and take it further. I think that when you have, yeah, F it, I'm gonna say it. I feel like with men, when men have money, a certain amount of money,
Yeah.
and a certain amount of power, because of the ego that comes with all of that, I feel like a certain level of sexual deviance comes out. It comes out there because they feel like they're unstoppable. They feel like they can do what they like. They feel like because they've got all the money and they've got all the power, that means that they are entitled to access to women and to sex and to certain things. And that's why we're finding that a lot of people of a certain caliber, we're finding out that they have a crazy, like, past or something going on in that arena. Because when you look at Epstein, you look at R. Kelly, Diddy, like, these people have a certain level of power and money, like, and prestige in their fields. And when men have that, they're like, puff chest, I can do what I like. And I feel like that comes out in that way, and that's why we're seeing it a lot. I feel like that's the reason why we see it a lot. I don't necessarily think that men in a certain pay bracket, in a certain power bracket, are nice people. I don't think so.
Oh, no. I think most people are not nice people. They just don't have the facilities to execute their not niceness.
Which is, I feel like with men in particular, it's more dangerous because of men's strength and all that stuff, which is why I'm saying, that's why I said F it. I'm going to say it's men. Like, I'm not saying women are perfect. Women are not angels. Like, women, it's another kettle of fish. Like,
We're not talking about women today.
That's another kettle of fish. But I feel like with men, like, when they have money, and I'm talking real money, and they have power, they think that they become not that they think that they become entitled. That's why Bill Cosby was walking around telling girls, "You're gonna take the pill, and I'm gonna pam you after you taking the pill." He had a level of cockiness about it because he's untouchable in his mind.
Yeah,
he is the Bill Cosby. R. Kelly was getting his posse to pull girls outside random. Anyhow, he was cocky with it. Why? Because he felt like he was in a certain place. He's untouchable. P. Diddy, same thing. Like, they feel like, I'm that guy. What can you do to me? After all, I've got the money. I got the power. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like with men, when they have that, that's when you see real sexual deviance come out. Because why not? Who's going to stop me? Whatever's in my mind, I can conjure up in my imagination, who's going to stop me? That's why we see this a lot. That's what I think. And I think back in the day, people weren't talking about it as much because women weren't seen as that important, to be honest. It's because of the whole rise of feminism that we're seeing more women speak up more about these injustices that they've been through. Back in the day, who cared? Who cared if they gave you a pill and he slept with you? So what? That's what all girls did. That was the assumption, right? But now it's not the assumption anymore. So that's why we're hearing more about it. You can't sweep these things under the carpet no more because women have rights now. So I think that's what's happening. Because I remember after this Cassie story came out, I can't remember who, someone tweeted it and the tweet popped off. But someone was like, what is going on in that industry? Why are we hearing so many men in the limelight? Why are we hearing that they've all done a madness? And in my mind, I'm thinking, someone tried to be like, oh, it's demonic. I was like, it's not demonic. It's the fact that they have power and money. That's what it is.
It's definitely not demonic.
And now they can enact whatever comes to their mind.
Yeah.
I think you're right. People are sinful in nature. If I'm going to bring my faith into it, we're sinful 100%. In nature. We work from our flesh. Fine. But imagine you have a monopoly of money and power, and you can just take your imagination to as far as you want to. And men are very sexual creatures. Like, I feel like they think about sex first. Imagine where their imagination will take them to and how far they can go, knowing no one's gonna stop them. Of course, you're gonna hear 100%. Things are coming out of the woodwork. Like,
but on the flip side of that, no, because I agree 100% that with everything you just said, men are sexual first. We are all sinful by default.
Yeah.
All of that. But on top of that, another layer is the opposite, which is if a woman has the same, let's say a female Diddy, whoever you want that to be, the amount of men who would be that she could have her way with, the amount of men that would take offense to it retrospectively, it's much less. The
Oh,
same
yeah,
thing could
because
happen, and a man will be,
yeah. And
how I'm going to process that, I was worth it. And that's it.
and I agree with you, because with the whole Me Too thing, yeah, it's loud because it's women. And obviously, when you talk about power, feminists might not like this, but when it comes to power, men are ahead of women when it comes to power.
Yeah.
Men are seen as more aggressive, as more physically strong. The masculine energy brings forth the idea that men are the aggressors when it comes to sexual assault and stuff like that. So it's loud when it comes to women talking about the Me Too movement. But there's plenty of men who are adults now who were also essayed by women. But the way that they recall that story is not the way a woman would recall the story. Like, I remember in uni speaking to a number of different black men who, when they tell you how they even lost their virginity, when they tell you who they lost their virginity to, if you was to sit down and really think about it, they were taken they were taken advantage of by an older woman, or a woman who was more aware of what was going on than he was, and took advantage of that. But simply because men see it as, I got to bang an older woman at the age of 15, 16.
Exactly. Yeah.
He doesn't see it as a say. But saying that, I've seen a rise recently of some men talking about the effect that has had on them in terms of their promiscuity, how they view women, how they view sex, and they're realizing that actually that wasn't okay. But it's not spoken about as much as the other way around, because like I said, men are viewed as the aggressors. And this is partly why earlier, when I was talking about the age gap and frontal lobe, and that's why I said, even if women that go and date men way, way younger than them, it's not morally correct, because you have a certain level of maturity and understanding that this person doesn't have, and it is a power play. And some people take advantage of that and some people don't. But I feel like most people take advantage of that, to be very honest. Like, what you do with someone that young, when you could have someone that's still young, but not that young. Do you get it? But it is what it is. So, yeah, I agree with you on that front, that the women in that position, and the thing is, there's not that many women in that position. What we got Oprah, we got Gayle, we got, who else is like as high up there as who's
Oprah's
not married?
Way beyond Diddy. You talking about in terms
No,
of...
I'm talking about women who are making crazy money. Like, they have the power, they have the money, they have the prestige. There's not that many. There's not that many women in that sphere.
In that bracket.
If you're going to be honest. So they might be, who knows, they might be in the future stories coming out about some of these people, some of these women, but there's not as many as the men, which is why we hear more about it with the men, because there's so many of them.
And this is obviously stuff that's happened not yesterday, but 10 years ago, 5, 7, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think that those women who are, the women who are there now in those positions, similar to these men, they maybe have only come into those positions over the last
recently
few years. So you got to give them the time to then have
catch
that
up.
history, you know, where they may have performed these acts. But I still doubt it would pan out in the same way, because men don't. Well, I'm speaking for men, but not in that way. But like, I just don't see it being processed mentally in the same capacity.
And if not now, it might not be processed for men a lot longer, which is what for a longer period of time, which is what I'm talking about. Because I came across a thread on Twitter back when it wasn't X, when it was still Twitter, of men from Africa talking about this, like their house help when they were like 15. Their parents' house help was the one that took their virginity, or a nanny took their virginity, or their mum's friend took their virginity. And they were talking about, they didn't realize till later in life how it made them addicted to certain things, like porn, addicted to like they have certain kinks that they don't think they would have had if that didn't happen to them, or how they became like addicted to sex. Like they felt like they needed to have sex all the time. They struggled to connect with women on a deeper level and have like meaningful relationships, stuff like that. And I don't know if someone's done a study on it. I would love to find out if they have. Maybe I'll research it, because I do think that it's a lot more prevalent than people want to admit. But the focus is always about the women right now, because again, men are seen as the aggressors in this domain. So,
but the women are speaking on it. It's not it's not just that men are the aggressors. Women are speaking on it for the first time in mass.
But for the fact that the fact that this thread exists means that there are. And when I say thread, I'm trying to make it sounds small, but I'm talking there were thousands of like
comments,
replies and comments and stuff of men saying, yeah, I went to therapy and I realized that this happened to me, and like the reason why I can't stay in a relationship is because of this, or the reason why I was addicted to porn is because of this, or addicted to masturbating was because of this. And I can link it back to that. And so there's a lot of stories like that I saw. And the point that I'm trying to make is when I say that men are seen as the aggressors is because of the way that SA and rape is deemed in terms of like the whole who's being penetrated, blah, 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 blah. And then if you couple that with women being seen as the weaker gender physically, and things like that, that's what I mean by when you hear these stories, people listen more when it's a woman talking about it.
Because they're used to that. We're used to that being that
narrative. And also because men are seen as the aggressor, especially today. So when you hear it, you're like, yeah, everyone's ready to talk about it, jump on the bandwagon. But with men are less likely to talk about it because of the shame, or also because they're not going to be believed, because it's like, but mate, like you obviously wanted it because your ting went up or whatever, you was aroused and all that and this, that, the other, and how is it possible for you to be people are really ignorant about it. Like, how is it possible for you to be SA? Well, just because my body reacted doesn't mean that I wanted it, that all that stuff. So, or just because
the penis be penising, you know what I'm saying?
The penis be penising, like I wake up in the morning and it's there ready, doesn't mean that I want it like all the time. Do you know what I mean? But this woman was way older than me and she shouldn't have that kind of stuff. So but I'm gonna actually want to research it now that I've remembered seeing that. I do want to research it a bit more and look into it. But I definitely think that there will come a time, maybe not in our lifetime, but there will come a time where it's the men that are talking a lot more and people have to listen up.
I think it'll be in our lifetime for sure.
You think so?
Yeah. Because you know, it's an exponential curve, but you know, like how society moves, it like basically over time it just gets faster and faster. So that's true. So I think like the gap between us and our parents and the gap between us and our kids, it will be like, you know what I mean? The move on will be like completely different. But
100%.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, boy. There's other things that have happened, other have you seen, but I'm looking at the time.
Literally, I know.
We're gonna have to cut it and next week. I want to talk about. Have you heard about the whole I'm a Celebrity, Nella Rose?
I know. I wanted to get into that as well.
We'll talk about it next week then.
Because there's better to talk about with Nella. There's so much.
There's a lot to talk about there. There'll probably be more. And because it's still on.
Yeah, I know. It will still be.
There'll be more. So we can, next week, guys, we'll talk about I'm
all
a Celebrity.
Things Nella.
We
just do a Nella special.
Nella Rose and the British public's reaction to her on this show. Yeah. And for our international listeners and watchers, I'm a Celebrity is a reality TV show here in the UK where they get like, I wouldn't even call them C-list celebs.
Damn.
To be
They on the
honest,
list. They get people who are
they're
on the list.
but not mad famous. They're
But
just
they ain't
on
at
the
the top of
list.
the list. Yeah.
No, in a jungle somewhere in Australia, and they make them do all these challenges, and people vote who they want to do the challenges, and the challenges are really like gruesome, like disgusting challenges. And currently, we have a black influencer turned personality on the show, and it's caused so much uproar around her. Yeah. So next week we'll talk about that. We'll do it. We'll actually
deep
the whole.
dive.
I feel like the whole episode
I'm
should just
thinking
be.
we should just do a deep dive special on Nella Rose in the jungle.
Yeah.
That's next week's episode, guys. Nella Rose in the jungle.
That's next week's episode. Yeah. 100%. We're gonna unpick that. So yeah, let's close up. Let's close it off.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us. As always, we've had a blast. We hope you have too. We got into it. And yeah, you know, we're always here. We're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on all the streaming sites, all the podcast sites. So wherever you want to see us, we're there. Leave us a thumbs up or a like or a 5-star. It's all good. Comments, we'll get back to you. Anything else we want to add? We've got a playlist. It's on Apple Music, it's on Spotify. Links in the comments, or sorry, in the description. So just click it and you'll hear our tracks of the week. We update it every single week with a, you know what I mean, a R&B-ish, hip-hop-ish banger. Not banger, but
whatever we feel like.
It's
whatever we feel like.
We add it with a vibe, a vibe. So yeah, you can check that out as well. If you've watched all of our episodes and you just want something more to do with us, we're there. And until next week, peace.
Peace.
Unpicked.